Here, SLI League Season 3 Navi versus Spirit. We made it into the draft at least. Russian stream, of course. Way ahead of us, but blame MRP, not BTS. We're always on schedule at BTS. You guys know that. Either way, you guys can report me, but you know, let's be honest, none of us have any reports left. So let's just forget all of this happened and get into the game. Navi versus Spirit semifinals here. So winner's going to move on to the grand finals for that spot in SLI League Season 3. That all coveted spot. And now we do see Soneko back with Navi as well. Recently, once again, reacquired. Stop spamming my Twitter. I made it, guys. Might have a little bit of bullshit with the mic right now, but I'm working on fixing that. As soon as my shit loads, we should be okay relatively shortly. Either way. Bit of a Russian style draft on the top of the screen. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, mic should be a lot clearer now. Anyways. Spear Breaker, Sniper, Tusk. So, the terror from the barrier. The snowball from Goalball. The Tusk. Sorry, I haven't done that in a while. Tusk has been completely out of the meta. And I got a little bit excited. Should be some serious aggression coming out from Spirit, and you know, with the try opening, if you will, of them, and even the Troll Warlord to supplement, you know, the Spirit Breaker bashes. The right clicks from Tusk can be a little bit deceptively effective as well. So a very interesting draft from Spirit. Sniper, of course, the one that doesn't really fit the mold, you know, with the rest of what they've put together. Navi, kind of a very throwback draft for them. Pycat at the helm composing this one. 2 super defensive sustain supports. So, you know, one way to deal with pickoffs is to make your heroes incredibly difficult to kill. Puck, innately elusive. Lifestealer's got the rage, doesn't feel too worried, you know, about being charged on or snowballed on. And then you've got your Dazzle and your Treant, who are, you know, in the case of Treant, not only tanky himself, but has a defensive ability to keep himself up. Dazzle has the Grave to account for TPs, and here's kind of the similar, you know, one position. So they're going to fight greed with greed in this sense, going with that Alchemist in the last phase. Like, I'm so out of order. That should have been up for this last little while, but you know, we got it back underway, guys. Some construction going on next door, so I went out and gave them an earful after my internet went down, but who knows if it was even their fault. Either way, we made it. We made it. We're here before draft starts. Be ready in between game, guys. I'm in Dota TV with no delay, stream delay, so I'm going to swap that around and put the delay on stream and then get in the lobby for game 2 since I had to miss the lobby for game 1. But so just be ready for the stream to drop in between games, just briefly. But until then, thank you guys, as always, for joining me. MRP here on behalf of Beyond the Summit, Dota Starladder_EN. Soneko's once again debut with Navi here. We'll see how he fares. Crap out of here. So Pycat, he's going to pick up the Lifestealer on the way to the safe lane. Going to opt for the Poor Man's Shield beginning. He has, you know, some sort of idea that he may be dual pressured in this off lane. You know, anytime you see a Tusk Spirit Breaker, definite potential for that. Troll Warlord, you know, having the ability to swap to ranged. He is pretty self-sufficient safe laner, and you know, with Shadow Word nearby, definitely fits that bill. So, you know, having the Poor Man's Shield certainly going to help for Pycat, as more than likely we're going to see this Tusk, you know, with the ability to roam around just the way that the Dire have built their safe lane. But from the other side, very self-sufficient as well. You know, Dendi, obviously, on the Alchemist, the one who's more likely to be pressured than any other hero from the Radiant side, but he'll have a Dazzle and a Treant to be TPing into him, or just to help him from afar with the living armor. So he should have a pretty decent early game as well, up against the Sniper. You know, he'll take some harassment, but, you know, he picks up the poor man's shield relatively soon for himself as well, and he'll be just fine. After he gets the bounty rune, he's already got a salve, so can just kind of look to go right towards that PMS, and he's actually going to go for both bounty runes here. Interesting play coming out from NaVi, and that'll give them the full PMS right away. He'll get his lane blocked up a bit by Seneko, so all looks well for Dendi here early on. Of course, there is a dire... Oh, I can't draw on the map. I'm in Dota TV. RIP. This is what happens when you lose your internet before the game. And feel free to yell at me in chat, guys, but like I said, you can't report me. Let's be honest, you don't have any reports left. Top lane FNG. So Nako, he's gonna get sharded up here, but not sure that they can kill off this treant just with the level 1 shards, and certainly that'll be difficult. General, very adept on this puck. You know, he'll be more than comfortable in this lane where he pretty much just has to dodge a snowball. You know, anything else that connects on him will simply be harassed, and more than likely he won't feel vulnerable to dying. Bot lane, Spirit Breaker should have a good time to at least soak some experience. Going to be difficult for him to kind of pressure and find last hits. Fiverr will feel fine to trade with him, you know, as long as he gets under a creep wave at some point. Pycat walking over. He's going to body block him here, maybe force out the charge. Gets off the open wounds, and oh, he has Greater Bash level 1. DK Phobos in trouble. A couple more right clicks. He's going to salve between them. Gets under the tower, and Pycat, he's going to expend some time away from the creep wave, lose a couple of last hits, and pretty much for now, it'll just cost Phobos a shrine. So that's something that he won't have going forward in the lane, but he makes it away alive. So far, Dendi doing very well in the mid lane. 10 CS to his name. Iceberg just about at parity with him. And FNG sitting in the Roche pit looking to secure the rune for his mid laner. Actually picks it up for himself. He's only level 1, so not sure how much he can get done with this arcane rune, but he can at least force the salve out from Dendi. Oh, Dendi just salves right now, and they do see it, but he dodges it. Nice play by Dendi. He's going to be charged up, but he'll be pretty much full HP, you know, as the Spirit Breaker joins the fray. And Shrapnel will keep him at about 70%, but DK Phobos, he's going to cancel that at this time. Pick up his bounty rune, maybe just gives him a little bit of a, you know, hasty retreat over to that bounty rune. BZZ approaching upon General, just level 1 in the Berserker's Rage. Of course, the bash chance doesn't scale, but, you know, Puck not feeling too threatened, especially with the living armor up. FNG hanging around mid lane, and this could be costly for him going forward. He's only level 1 still. Dendi, he's going to pick up the bounty rune, do a little bit of stacking in the meantime. Probably can stack both these camps with the acid spray. We'll see if he attempts it. He doesn't. Acid spray, very small radius nowadays. Yeah, it's probably an oversight on my part. Maybe he could walk up this way, cast the acid spray there, and get a stack, but only at level 2, probably near impossible for that to work out. So still, Dendi gonna farm away. His mid lane wasn't that hard, but against the Spirit Breaker and the Tusk, and they know the Tusk has been off map, you know, this is a very safe and smart play from Dendi. 19 CS now with those jungle creeps. He will see FNG walk through the mid lane, and he's still level 1, so this is a bunch of wasted time essentially. And so Nako, you know, he's about at equilibrium there as Vanscore looks to eclipse his level 3 mark, as does Biver. So across the board, you know, you look at the hero levels and everything's pretty even. Tusk will just find that level 2 milestone, and the Treant still looking to find it. But I think perhaps, you know, the most glaring advantage being gained in this early game is this Puck, who's, you know, sitting on level 3 in general, hasn't been pressured all that much, and he probably would be even level 4 at this point if it weren't for Soneko spending some time in his lane. Does have, you know, 7 and 2 CS mid lane though. Dendi in trouble. Shrapnel's gonna come out. Nice set of shards. Living armor is there, but it's not enough. First blood will be found, and then you see exactly why Dendi's gonna, you know, try to find most of his time in that jungle. General now, he could be in trouble. He just needs to back out here. Does have a haste rune. Iceberg, he's being healed up by the Shadow Word. Now Soneko in trouble. Fatal Bonds is there as well, and that's gonna be the shrapnel from the sniper to kill him off. Double kill for Iceberg. Now a charge through. Biver has no mana. Dendi gonna try and perhaps body block up DK Phobos. He has the acid spray there. A couple more right clicks. Ward is gonna go down from the dire side, and the Shadow Word should keep DK Phobos alive and healthy for now. So the general rotation comes over as well, where he could have spent some time top lane, finding some much needed experience. And it's really to no avail for NaVi. Team Spirit, in fact, will find a 2-0 beginning. And on top of all of that, it is for their sniper, who's now level 5, you know, highest net worth in the game, even over the Alk. He's about right at equilibrium in terms of CS with the 1 and 2 positions of NaVi. So good start for Spirit, and gives a little bit of experience as well to this Tusk, who, as we saw a moment ago, was starving for it. And now they've got 2 aggressive wards down to try and scout Dendi here. Dendi, he's being charged up. FNG is nearby. If they overlap these stuns, he could be in trouble. Soneko, oh, General's here as well. Are they baiting Dendi? Come for the illusory orb. Waning Rift is there, but I mean, FNG, he doesn't feel very killable. He's actually going to turn as DK Phobos coming through. Could he connect on General? General's going to phase shift. He's going to go through towards Dendi. General in trouble now. Gets the Waning Rift off, but the Assassinate will kill him off. Dendi now up near the high ground. Bounty Rune is there. Does DK Phobos get it? He does. Now the snowball comes through. The greed may hurt Dendi. Pycat with the open wounds. Going to be here to force back FNG and probably kill him off. The Sigil, though, doing work now that the Rage is down. Pycat in trouble. DK Phobos, he's going to block him up. The Shadow Word goes on to DK Phobos as FNG looked to be out of range at the time. And now ring around the Rosie, around the trees. General, though, with the vision from the illusory orb, is going to be able to get that last right click, kill FNG off. Still, it's a lot of wasted time from this NaVi squad, and it feels like BZZ is the major beneficiary here. He's been sitting top lane almost the entire game. 35 CS to his name. Feels like that could be a bit higher here. But he's certainly, you know, already level 6, becoming a force to be reckoned with on this map. He's going to end up popping the battle chance for bot lane, where they're going on to Soneko. Bash is going to be there for DK Phobos, and the shards trapping the Treant in. Even Pycat having trouble against this Sigil from FNG, and it is a 4-1 lead now, as General looks to soak some XP behind the tree line top lane. Again, he's not very threatened in this lane, but it feels like if he was present here more, rather than having to try and defend Dendi in the mid lane, you know, he would have been at a much better position in this game. Now he's going to take some harass. Only the level 1 phase shift. He could be in trouble here. Doesn't have an orb. He gets the Waning Rift off, and the living armor will keep him alive for now. But BZZ doesn't expend all that much. You know, Battle Trance, very low cooldown. Had, you know, if he has some sort of mana regeneration coming out to him, he's fine to just continue to fight away or chip away at that tower. So very good start for Team Spirit. We'll take that. And just kind of the very passive support duo of NaVi has yet to really have a major impact in this game. So Soneko will find some time mid lane to get a little bit of experience, but you know, he doesn't even have a Nature's Guise because they're playing against a Spirit Breaker Tusk combination. They really need to, you know, build more into the defensive spells. And still, the aggression has, you know, prevailed to this point for Team Spirit. Some free chip damage on the tower as well mid lane for Iceberg. And all looks good, really, for the Dire side. I mean, Pycat is certainly keeping up. Dendi, you expect him to be near the top of net worth, but, you know, he does have that one costly death to his name. He now has the Armlet and Chemical Rage, though. So, you know, his bare necessities to power farm are there. FNG is going to get found out here. Leech Seed, Poison Touch, Sigil, probably not going to be enough to save him here. But now inbound with the Shrapnel. FNG going to look to TPL. Biver in a lot of trouble here. Does have a Grave. Shrapnel will go out once again. Not using the Assassin. He gets a headshot. Iceberg kills him off before he can even get off the Grave. Level 1 headshot. Now we'll go for the TP out. Of course, Dendi doesn't have Unstable Concoction. Beautifully played by Iceberg. And across the map, Spirit's movement is just one step ahead, as they constantly force out these rotations that aren't able to net return kills. 5-1 NaVi. The lead they're starting to build in terms of net worth is docile, you know, at best. But they're against an Alchemist. You look at experience, and you know, that one's a little bit more substantial, approaching the 2-minute mark now. 2,000 experience mark. Like 2 minutes. Holy. A little discombobulated after all the issues early on, but charge somewhere is happening. Alright, DK Phobos ends up canceling it. Just tried to get away from Dendi. Perhaps fearing for himself a little bit. General a bit far forward here. BZZ not the most threatening hero. But he will get shadow worded. Does not jaunt over though. BZZ in anticipatory nature, trying to catch him with the ranged whirling axes. And look at this mid lane. This is just... I mean, Team Spirit is just forcing predictable movement out of NaVi. They know they have to protect this Alchemist, so constantly applying pressure top lane, or mid lane, excuse me, and in top lane and elsewhere, they're able to gain an advantage. Now mid lane, Iceberg in trouble, but the snowball comes through to keep back the entire lineup of the Radiant, and the rock gets dropped down. Grave is going to be forced out on the Dazzle by himself. General in trouble, has no illusory orb for another second, and he's going to drop as well. Charge coming through is going to be canceled by DK Phobos, but again, it's one step ahead for Team Spirit as they bait their sniper in the mid lane. They'll get a tier 1 tower and a couple of kills. The Treant and the Puck falling there. And, you know, that's essentially another 600 gold on top of this 800 gold swing with that tier 1 tower down. And they did secure no last hit for the Dire. So about 600 gold going their way. But a great early game start for them. You know, they can look at Roche at some point when they have the next rock up. It's going to be very difficult to fight into the pit for NaVi's side. You know, they do have a Dream Coil. And potentially the Overgrowth as well. But still, you know, Soneko, he's level 4 currently, so that's not a guarantee by any stretch. Whereas, you know, we look at top lane, where they were not pressured at all because of all the rotations in towards mid to help out Dendi. And you've already got a Vanscore Warlock, level 6. We saw the Chaotic Offering be a big factor in that mid lane fight. FNG still fairly tanky here, bottom lane. And he's going to force out the coil from Iceberg. Snowball is there. General in trouble. Biver dies in the meantime. And now the charge through onto Soneko. Iceberg going to be forced to TP out because of Pycat rotating in. The shards, though. Oh, the Nether Strike. Finishing off after the John. That General Puck. Dendi, he's going to be forced back now. Charge. As Sigil keeps Pycat at bay. FNG has BZZ rotating in now. Rage is available for Pycat. Living Armor is there. He tries to infest the creep. And we'll just use it to get the HP away. Now he's going to be bashed up twice. Once by the Spirit Breaker, once by the Troll Warlord. Doesn't get a bash again through the Rage, though. But now the Snowball and the charge to come through. Pycat's going to drop here. No response. Oh, the shards at the very edge. They catch Biver as well. Gets in for the one Orb of Venom, right click. They're still walking forward. Melee or range whirling axes and the charge. Biver in trouble as well. Gets the grave off in time, but there's no TP. And this will just delay the inevitable. One more right click is there. DK Phobos actually with a negative earn tick is going to be the one to bring down the Dazzle. It is 12-1, 13 minutes in this game. Iceberg, he doesn't even die there. Is able to TP out. He's 6-0-2 on the sniper. And this is getting out of hand right now here. Sub 15 minutes into the game as BZZ and crew, you know, he has a complete free farm top lane along with his Warlock who's pulling and having a good time, finding his level 6 sub 10 minutes. They walk over to that mid lane, take that one decisive fight, and it's turned into 2 tier 1s and 12 kills for their squad as BZZ picks up the tower last hit bot lane. And, you know, Dendi, he's found some time with these last few skirmishes, but really, I mean, Iceberg and BZZ, they found enough farm and kills, for that matter, to maintain levels of farm alongside the Alchemist. Now, Iceberg is top lane. Are they going to look to flank here? The charge is going to come through onto Soneko. He's level 6 now, though. Does have the Overgrowth. They need to be a little bit careful here. Soneko will connect on the 3-man Overgrowth. It's only to sound the retreat for his squad as the Dust of Appearance is going to reveal that Treant, and he will end up dropping. Wicked 6th Street, 7-0-2 for Iceberg, who's level 11 at this point. You know, going to find that level 2 Assassinate relatively soon. And the map is just shrinking at an alarming rate for NaVi, and that is not something you ever want to hear be the case when you have an Alchemist on your squad. BZZ gonna give up his Ferber stacks on the tower to right-click into the creeps, but he will stack those back up pretty quickly once again, and that's gonna be the third and final tier 1 eliminated off the map. Now mid lane general in trouble. Does get the coil off. Nice debate onto DK Phobos. They have the open wounds there as well. Nether Strike, though, is going to be back on the Pycat. It's not going to do all that much, though, because he's under the effects of Rage. And they finally find a return kill here. Seneko, no ultimate available for him. So cannot cancel that TP out. But Spirit Breaker going to be in trouble. Now Battle Trance pop top lane, and this tier 2 is going to take a lot of damage. This BZZ will back into ranged form and gets a little bit more chip damage done on that tower. They don't want to fight now full scale without their Spirit Breaker, but they will chip away at this. Pycat is going to take a bit of damage here. Iceberg, he's already got that Maelstrom on top of Tread's Aquila at this point, so he's a bit of a scary threat in terms of the right click. Vanscore's behind them at all times with this chaotic offering. The counter initiation potential is real. Coil still not up for 20 seconds. No Tusk, though, no Spirit Breaker here, and Iceberg still just trying to finally finish off this tower. Need to be careful not to put it into deny range here, as DK Phobos charging through is going to find the Bounty Rune on the east side. And Iceberg still chipping away at this. He'll put this into deny range in one more right click. Looks like he's very weary of the current level of HP of this tower, as he'll make sure to fully commit alongside his Troll Warlord here. And Pycat, yeah, he'll just back out. Charge is going to come through, but it's only a zoning one, I feel. And yeah, DK Phobos is going to end up backing out here. Orb forward, General not going to connect onto anyone, so will not jaunt through. FNG going to look to find the power farming Alchemist. Power farming, I say, although he is not significantly ahead, which is where you expect him to be here. 16 minutes in. Does have the Radiance, though, which is more than reasonable in terms of timing with the early game he had. But he has had kind of some AFK farm for the last 5 minutes or so. But Spirit, you know, they've got their own agenda in mind, and it is one that is certainly working out thus far. They're going to go for the Roshan after taking the 4th outer tier tower of the game in that offlane tier 2, and they're going to get this with ease. No contest. They've got good vision as well on the high ground. I mean, the Radiant see this as well, but there's nothing, no answer that they have. You don't got the answers, man. I mean, look how poor these supports are. Level 5 on Biver. He does not even have that weave for, you know, even defensive purposes. Seneco's level 7, but you take a look at the net worth, and you know, Vanscore is sitting on 4K, you know, nipping at the heels of this puck in terms of network. FNG gets open wounds up, but he's got Vanscore behind him, and now he's going to go for the snowball onto Biver. General going to be there with the orb, but really it's not a scary one. Biver is going to get sharded up and most likely brought down. DK Phobos coming from very far across the map. Upheaval will be there. Assassinate is going to fly through and connect. Biver still in trouble. Infest and TP out from everyone on Navi's side, and that Space Cal will end up picking up the kill, as that charge from the other side of the world does end in the death of the Dazzle, who's still, once again, not level 6. So the Infest was into the Treant, who TP'd top lane, but they can't find anyone, and I'm sure Pycat will vacate the premises relatively shortly and go back to farming. And all things looking up for Team Spirit here. Thus far, Iceberg has found the Dragonlance, so it's going to help them siege a little bit. You know, Hurricane Bite can be very nice with the open wounds. Like, even if you can't, even if the Lifestealer is raged up and you can't pike him, you can at least force staff yourself away, and that's a big part of their fighting power. Is that open wound slow? You know, if you're able to cut out the open wounds, Lifestealer becomes much less effective of a hero. And now Shards coming through, and the snowball charge is there as well, and the Assassinate gonna just fry up that dead body of the Fairy Dragon, as Iceberg goes to work on this bottom lane tower. But the aggression is still being queued up as Team Spirit, every time they've got this chaotic offering up, they want to be in the face of this Navi squad. Dendi does find a tower top lane in the meantime, and does have that Radiance, but you know, is it a little bit too little too late for this Navi squad? You know, Radiance has definitely expedited his farm considerably. You know, he's sitting on 12k net worth. Meanwhile, Vanscore charge onto Biver and the TPL from Seneko. They don't have a problem diving this tier 2. Brave is going to be early, and it's not like Biver had much of a choice. I mean, he's going to end up dropping. Shards go out onto General. He uses his orb aggressively. He's going to end up dropping here. A couple more right clicks. One big one. It looked like a bash from BZZ. Finishes him off, and now the Urn Charge going to keep FNG in fighting shape. Shadow Word is there as well. Last outer tier tower being pressured, and quickly by Spirit's side. And they still have an Aegis in hand. And that is up for another 2 minutes here, so more than ample time to at least look to bring down this tier 3 and go towards the shrines. So Neko jumping forward, the unstable concoction, not going to be manta dodged by BZZ. He'll catch the weave though, and maybe just wait for the duration of this to expire. And still though, with Iceberg, he's going to continue to right click into the tower, had the fervor stacks up. Orb going to be dodged out, and they'll wait for the next wave to come in. Acid Spray and the Radiance should finish this off pretty quickly, though. They need to get back up towards the high ground before backdoor regeneration kicks in, and they will. And Battle Trance going to go out. Iceberg, BZZ right-clicking into this tower. There needs to be a response now from Pycat. Manta Style going to purge the open wounds, and there it is. Pycat has to back off. Chaotic Offering queued up, but not dropped just yet. Iceberg a little bit low, but he does have the Dragon Lance, so still pretty tanky. Shadow Word will keep him alive once again, and a slow, methodical siege from Spirit. They really want to get this during the duration of the Aegis. Living Armor making it a bit of a pain for them. Iceberg able to dodge out again on the orb. And what are we looking like for mana here? It's not great for NaVi. BCC getting a little low. Does have the Aegis though. Pycat going to pop the Rage. Maybe that gives them a little bit of window to right click into this tower. Iceberg still standing strong. Shadow Word is there for BZZ. And as the Aegis will expire shortly, in about 50 seconds, Team Spirit will back off. So they spend a lot of time on high ground, and essentially they'll get nothing done because the Treant will heal this back to 100% HP. Iceberg in trouble now, gets coiled up. He could be in trouble. They have the Chaotic Offering though, and it will not be dropped as the Overgrowth is there in time. BZZ takes out the Treant in the meantime. Iceberg still alive though. Pycat, he gets bashed up from the charge through by the Spirit Breaker, and now he can't take out Iceberg. TP over to the shrine from General. General just get right clicked down by the sniper. Now Dendy in trouble. He does have the armlet though. BZZ still has the Aegis, wants to expend it if he can. Charge for it. In the meantime, Iceberg does end up going down to Pycat on the backlines. DK Phobos in trouble. Acid Spray, not Ice Spray, will end up bringing him down. So they will get 2 kills on the backlines. Iceberg picks up the puck, but it's certainly that back end fight more than favorable for Navi's side. You take a look at the gold and experience swing, and they are heavily in the favor of the Radiant. So, you know, Treant Protector ends up proving to be a very difficult hero to breach high ground against for Team Spirit. As essentially they'll get nothing done. This tier 3 will be, you know, back at full HP, but next time they go high ground. And they do end up losing some valuable heroes. They don't end up bringing Dendy down, so they're not stopping him in any manner in the last 10 minutes or so. But still, I mean, he's not an alchemist as ahead as you'd want him to be. Shards will connect for FNG. They've got the charge coming through here momentarily. It will land, but Chemical Rage makes Dendy a difficult kill. And they will wisely, as they didn't have great numbers top lane, back off. Iceberg going to complete up the Mjolnir. So still a very scary force is the sniper. Walking uphill here could be a little risky for him. Does find General though. Now the charge through General. Oh man, he just gets blown up before he even thinks to orb out Iceberg with all that. And fortunately, the charge is gonna, you know, move over to the next closest target, with ends up being the Treant. So they get a double kill for Iceberg. There's nothing for them to really take here though, as the, you know, the lane is up near the tier 1 of the Dire side, and Roche is dead. So it's a nice double kill for Iceberg, and it's going to, you know, continue to accelerate his item progression. But they don't really find an objective off of this, and it is something that Team Spirit want to find eventually. They definitely can go late game with this squad, considering the matchup. But they want to press their advantage here, and, you know, that kill doesn't necessarily facilitate a high ground push. Iceberg will put what seems to be some inconsequential chip damage into this tier 3. As BKB being built up by DK Phobos, it seems. Could be a halberd, perhaps. But against the Rage, you know, not that effective. Pycat, bottom lane, Midas ticking away. Has the Desolator to come out pretty soon. That'll be a big ramp up in their team fight potential. FNG is going to catch an unstable concoction, and he's just going to drop here to Dendy. Gets the mech off, but it doesn't do much. And now Team Spirit, they look to want to fight this, though. Chemical Rage has more than enough duration on it. Chaotic Offering will connect onto 2, and it looks like they're really fully committing here. Overgrowth will keep them at bay, though, and that's a wasted rock from Team Spirit's side, unless they can dust up Seneko and find him, but it doesn't look like that'll be the case. He'll TP under the cover of Nature's Guise, and a beautifully played engagement by NaVi. Seemed like a bit of an odd Chaotic Offering from Vanscore there. It felt as if the troll went in for a second. He said, yeah, you know what, this Alk is a little bit too tanky. I'm going to back out. And then the Chaotic Offering was dropped. And then I mentioned Diffusal Blade was picked up and a charge used there by BZZ. So he's going Blink Diffusal. And it looks like they are looking to end this game. Jump forward, get a pick, finally be able to go high ground. Would really like to find themselves a Treant Protector or a Dazzle before they do so. Roche is back up. We'll clean up an Ancient Stack in the meantime and at least deny that farm from Dendi, who does have the full Manta style and is looking to build into either Shiva's or AC at this point. Shiva's really nice in general against the sniper. Snowball will not connect onto General. Mech is there for Iceberg, keeps him safe for now. Pycat trying to chase him down, but he will make it away, gets the Shadow Word off as well. General gonna be graved up. Nether Strike though will find the Treant at least. He gets the negative Earn Tick as well. Nicely played by DK Phobos, and BZZ finds himself a double kill as he picks up the Dazzle on the early stages of the fight. Into the Snowball goes the Troll Warlord. FNG will get turned on and will be brought down, but it more than likely means Pycat is gonna end up dying here. And triple kill for BZZ is gonna open up the Roche pit for Team Spirit, and they do all of that without the rock. So 1 minute until this rock is back up again. Dendi will immediately look to cut the wave, but his illusion will expire there. And overall, very good fight for the Dire side. It'll also net them Roche, so this is not all she wrote in terms of the story of that team fight, and Midas even thrown off by Vanscore, maybe fearing for his life. But lovely play there from DK Phobos. You know, trust that his Troll Warlord will find the kill on the Dazzle. He'll Nether Strike the Treant, Earn Tick down the Puck, and secures all 3 of those kills essentially for his squad. FNG, oh, General, he goes for the YOLO play, and he'll pay. But he does end up getting the Aegis. Beautiful snatch. And that is actually maybe worth it here, I want to say, for the Radiant. 40 seconds until he's back up. Dendi can keep the waves out more than, you know, effectively for his squad. And that Aegis snatch for General maybe means they save high ground here. Still looks like Team Spirit looking to push in. But I mean, the tower is at full HP here. They've got the Acid Spray, they've got the Treant, they've got the offensive weave if they want to drop it. And there's no Aegis on BZZ, and he just can't siege high ground like he could with an Aegis in hand. Dendi, he's going to be dropped in a hunt. Chaotic Offering will connect onto 3. Soneko in a lot of trouble. He'll be dropped down. Biver forced to self-grave again. Pycat, he's way too low. He can't continue to fight. Tusk will Walrus Punch up the Dazzle and keep him down. And Aegis or not, Team Spirit into the base of NaVi. Glyph will delay this tier 3 push, but no Treant alive, no Dazzle alive is going to mean they'll get it. The Acid Spray will end up killing off the Chaotic Offering, but BZZ into the melee racks he goes. Coil will connect onto 3, and they will get off a nice unstable concoction, but the mech does keep them in fighting shape. Pycat trying to bring down Iceberg. Upheaval dropped out, and now Pycat, he's going to get slowed out here. Iceberg gets a headshot into him. FNG perhaps in trouble, but he's still kiting around Dendi. Weave is going to be popped there, and they don't really care. They're just kind of ignoring Dendi. They'll bring down the Dazzle for the 2nd time in about as many minutes. Pycat will buy back. Melee Rack still not taken here. Iceberg going to right-click into the Lifestealer, who's forced to immediately rage here. And this will mean him backing off, will mean the Melee Racks does end up going down. Unstable Concoction will fly out, connects onto 2. Soneko still in trouble, though. Will be brought down even under the Shrine. Melee Rack's going to be secured. 3 heroes on the sidelines for NaVi. BZZ very much so in fighting shape with this Warlock behind him, Pipe behind him, Mech behind him as well on the Tusk. And FNG has just kind of been the sacrificial lamb for his squad, and he really seems like the only hero ever to die for his side. But they'll get a full lane of racks. They will get the tier 3 bottom lane as well, and now Shrines, of course, are vulnerable, so they can look to bring those down pretty quickly with the Troll Warlord. Immediately, NaVi will make a beeline for their bottom Shrine. Soneko as well going to TP in, get under the cover of a tree, make sure they can't take this immediately, but it feels like Spirit, at their leisure, can go for those Shrines. We will have a pause at this point in the game. We can take a look at the metrics, and after that push, a big surge in net worth lead for Team Spirit overall. That is, mind you, against an Alchemist, so perhaps even bigger lead effectively, and 15k in the way of experience. 32-8 Spirit have controlled this game front to back. And really only one hiccup going high ground as they lose a couple heroes, you know, extracting themselves from that very difficult push earlier on. But even without Aegis now, they're able to breach high ground. And Pycat, he was forced to buy back, you know, even with a Midas. Deso Armlet Phase is a great set of items on Lifestealer, but not where you want to be 30 minutes in. And, you know, forcing Suneko to go kind of defensive early on against the Spirit Breaker Tusk means that he can't really be a vessel for the Lifestealer thereafter, because, you know, when the Lifestealer wants to infest and get going, he doesn't have any points in Nature's Guise. He was level 4 as a Lifestealer was 6, and Suneko, you know, had a 0-1-2 build at level 3. Biver in trouble here bottom lane, and is pretty much just going to accept his fate. We'll end up graving, and this is going to be curious here. Dendi is coming over with the infested Lifestealer, but why is the question. They will end up blowing up the Warlock, it seems. They get, oh, a nice set of shards from FNG. Will keep Vanscore alive for now. He gets the Shadow Word off. Iceberg right-clicking into Pycat. Vanscore still alive. Oh, my. And that is not what you want to see for Na'Vi. Without their Dazzle, they try to fight. Sentry Ward going to be dropped down. Do they find Suneko here with the Sigil? They do. Upheaval will catch him. Treant Protector, he's going to drop, and we are encroaching upon GG territory here for Na'Vi. 2 heroes on the sidelines, 2 important ones at that, for 30 seconds. This will be second lane Arax with ease. And that tier 2 top lane was brought down around 13 minutes, so that lane vulnerable as well. Team Spirit and BZZ make quick work of the bottom lane. DK Phobos going to force out some spells here. On top, Sable Concoction thrown out. Diffusal Blade Charge is there. Dendi going to pop the Chemical Rage, but the Chaotic Offering keeps him in play. It will diffusal him up and throw some Manta Illusions at him. Snowball is there as well. It's going to be a difficult kill, but they get it. Dendi right as he looks to walk up the stairs. And GG is called, as Team Spirit will roll over Na'Vi in this game 1. Guys, I'm going to bring down the stream real quick. I got to get back into the lobby and switch over the delay. So be ready. The stream will be back up in about 5 minutes. Thank you guys for joining me here. MRP BTS SLI League Invitational Season 3. This is the EU qualifier. Spirit in the semifinals take a 1-0 lead against Na'Vi. Be back in 5.